Morning! I'm just pottering around the house today, so I thought I'd turn the camera on and do a little chit chat video about different things that's going on with my son and I, and all the other things that happen in mum life, really. Also, I've got a few things to sort out, so I thought I'd just do a little chit chat video as I go along. So today I have to sort the day out bags. So I have two day out bags. Obviously the summer holidays are only just around the corner now, and I'm going to be taking my son out on day trips. We've got a holiday booked, and I'll take him to the local parks and stuff, and have some play dates with friends and everything like that. So it's not going to cost me a lot of money. And I've just been looking through all the events on Facebook in my local area, and there's loads of events throughout the summer, and there's one in our main park in our town, and it's free for all kids. And if you are on benefits or you're struggling, you can actually get a free meal as well, which I think is fab. But it's also available to all kids, and they got bouncy castles there, and it's a whole day out. And it's happening about 3 days after my son comes back from holiday with his dad. So I thought, well, that's really good, because I struggle to find things to do with my son in the summer holidays that's not going to cost me a fortune. Some days we will stay in and we'll play in the garden, but I can't keep him in the entire time that I've got him, so I've been trying to find things to do with him. I've got my day out bags that I need to sort out as well, so let's get on with it. I have two day out bags. This bag I've had since my son was born. It's really old, it's really tatty, but it does the job that I need it to do. So with this bag, this holds a spare change of clothes. Even though my son doesn't need a spare change of clothes, because obviously he can go to the toilet and all that kind of stuff, that's absolutely fine. He's old enough, way old enough to do all that. But in case it rains, or in case we go somewhere where there's water, because I remember on my birthday last year, I took him to Cribbs Causeway, and we didn't know that there was like a little water stream. Anyway, he ran through it, got all his clothes wet, and I didn't have a spare change of clothes. So ever since then, I've now got that bag, and it's got a spare change of clothes in it that I take with me every time we go out for the day. So if there is water anywhere, or he goes down the slide and it's been raining before and the slide is all wet, I've got a spare change of clothes. Also, if he spills anything down him, but kids do, I've got a spare change of clothes that stays in my car that I can go back and forth to if I need to. I also put in there if it's a really hot day, because we live in the UK and you never know when the weather's just going to change like that. I also have a waterproof poncho thing and some waterproof clothes as well, that I always stick in this bag just in case. I also put a few of my own clothes in there, so like say socks and some leggings and a raincoat for me and everything else, in case that I've had to go in the water as well and I've got my socks wet. I also put a spare pair of shoes in there as well, one for my son and one for me. It's just something that I have. I leave it in the boot of my car, and it's always there just in case. And the next bag I have is this one. This is the one that I take with me when we're going out around the parks and everything like that. So I have all the snacks and the drinks, they go in this one. My purse goes in this one. My phone goes in this one. Also got a power charger as well, in case the battery runs out on my phone, because I use Google Maps on my phone to get us wherever we need to go. So that's all in there. I also put in there some wet wipes, some tissues, some paracetamol for me, and some medicine for my son, just in case we start feeling a bit ill, or we get a headache or something like that. Especially if it's hot and it's crowded and it's busy, I can get a lot of headaches as well. So I put all that in this bag that I take around the park with me. So I need to get those sorted and make sure that I've got everything in there that I need. So it's not long now before their summer holidays actually begin. So the places that we've got booked in for the summer holidays. So my son finishes school on the Friday in July, and then on the Tuesday he goes away with his dad for a week, which my son is overly excited and I'm absolutely dreading, because I've never spent 8 days away from my child. So this is going to be a big one for me. I am going to be having video calls and stuff with him while he's away with his dad, but it's still a lot of anxiety for me anyway. So before he goes, I've got the entire weekend with him. So we're going to go back to Build-A-Bear, because we were going to go earlier this year, but we didn't quite make it. And I've got a £10 voucher as well. So I'm going to take him to Build-A-Bear on the Saturday. And then we're going to a farm, a local farm about 15 minutes away from where we live. They've actually got Bluey going there. I think it's Bluey and Bingo, I'm not sure. But my son is getting to the point now where he's starting to grow out of all these kind of characters. I feel like this is my last chance for him to go and see Bluey. He doesn't know that Bluey is going to be there. All he knows is that we're going to this farm, and next door to the farm they've got strawberry picking. So I said, oh, we'll do both in one day and I'll take you to the farm. So we're going to do that on the Sunday, but he doesn't know that Blue is going to be there. So I'm going to kind of surprise him with that. And then on the Monday that I've got him, we're not sure what we're doing yet. I'm trying to look around for things that we could do. There is another farm a little bit further out called Newbridge Farm in Ledbury. We have been there before. It's a little bit further out than where we usually go. But I'm thinking of taking him there because they've got hay bales, they've got tractor rides, they've got pony rides. But you don't have to book that one. You can just turn up, or you can book it the night before. So I think I'm going to see how he does with the farm that we're going to on the Sunday. And if he's still high and wants to go to another one, we'll go off to this Newbridge Farm as well. And then he goes to his dad on the Monday night, ready to go on holiday for 8 days the day after. Other than that, we do have a dinosaur show happening at our local theatre. So they've got dinosaur events. I don't really know what it's like. It's just called Dinosaur Live, and I know my son would like it. And then we've got a few events going around in the actual area that we're going to attend as well. And plus we've got our Butlins trip too. So those are the things that I'm going to be doing with my son, as well as trying to meet up with people from school still, and trying to go to a few local parks. I'll go around and see my dad, because for my dad's birthday, I am buying him a day out with us, because I don't know what else to do with them. As parents get older, it's like, well, what do you want? You got everything. So I thought I would buy him a bottle of rum from me, because he got married in Jamaica to his wife now, and they love Jamaican rum. So I thought I'd buy him a nice bottle of rum for his birthday. And then from my son, we're going to pay for a day out together. And I found this place in Tewkesbury, which I go to quite often because I live in the southwest. And they've got this golf course, which has got like pirate ships and all in it. And I thought, oh, that's brilliant. And for 3 adults and 1 child, it's only £32. So I'm going to pay for that for my dad's birthday and try and do that with him in August. So I've got a wide variety of things to do with my son, but he's also going to be with his dad half the time as well. So I'm not going to have to do the whole 6 weeks with him. But, you know, I'm going to enjoy my time with them as much as I can and try not to spend as much money. But I know Butlins is going to be a fortune because my son loves those arcades. Anyway, let's carry on. All right, Tobe. Just come down to check on the dog. But as soon as I stroke him, he grumbles. Anybody else have a Westie who just grumbles all the time? All the time. Like, you just sit down next to him and he'll grumble. You walk past him and he'll grumble. But then he comes up to you to want a cuddle, but then he grumbles. So it's like, what do you want? So anyway, when my son is with his dad, the things that I have planned is I plan on going to Costco with my dad and his wife. I've never been to Costco before. Is it worth going? I know I've got to pay for the membership, but also towards the end of 2024, they're actually going to bring a Costco to our local area. So I feel the membership is going to be worth paying for. And if I've read it right on the website, if anyone's got a Costco membership, please let me know if I'm right here. If I bought a membership, I can take up to 2 guests with me, which would be my dad and his wife. And then I can take my son another time if I wanted to, or I could take my mum or something. And maybe I could take my brother because he's moving out of his house into another one and he needs all new furniture. And I've heard Costco does everything. So is it worth doing a Costco trip? Do let me know. And also, is it worth doing a Temu haul? Because I have massive anxiety, like huge anxiety. And I said in one of my other videos that I was going to buy some stuff from Temu, and someone said, don't buy anything from Temu because it can cause cancer. And I haven't bothered since because I've been freaking out about it. So let me know what your thoughts are on this and whether these are actually true. I did do my own research and it says that there are traces of some kind of chemical, but I'm not sure what other people's point of view is on it. So do let me know. But other than that, I'm thinking I'm going to go to Wellesbourne Market and then Stratford. We have a coach company in our area, and they do a coach trip from where we live to Wellesbourne Market and then to Stratford upon Avon. So you get two of them, and it's £20 a ticket. And I think by the time I put petrol money in my car and driven to Wellesbourne and then gone to Stratford and paid the parking, which I'm sure is not cheap, it's going to cost me over £20. So I'm thinking of getting the coach just to Wellesbourne Market and then to Stratford upon Avon, because that's where Shakespeare lived, isn't it? Is Stratford. So I was thinking of going there and vlogging that. So what do you think? Have you been there before? Is it worth a trip? I've been to Wellesbourne a few times. I haven't been for a couple of years though, so I might go to Wellesbourne and see what that's like, really, and see if there's any bargains for Christmas, because it is only 6 months to go, nearly 5. If you haven't seen my Christmas video, I'll link it in the description box below. But there might be some Christmas presents there. There might be some bargains at Wellesbourne. I know they have a big toy truck. It's a huge toy truck and they sell toys off really cheap. So hopefully I'll be able to get there in time for that. But those are a couple of other things that I'm going to be doing. And I also want to decorate mine and my son's room throughout the summer holidays, but I want to do it while he's with his dad. So I've got to do it in stages, really. We do want to move house. We're desperate to move house, but that doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon, as I would want it to. So I feel like if we just decorate it and make it much more comfortable for us to live in, that might make us feel good, might make us feel better. So I'm going to be decorating, but I don't know what colours to do my room. So what colours do you think? I don't like anything too bright or bold. I like it where I can have colours where it looks a bit more open, where it makes the room look a little bit more spacious. What colours would I be looking at to make my room look bigger than it actually is? It's a lot of work that needs doing in there. And my son wants a Pokemon room, obviously. So I've got to figure out how I'm going to do that next. I don't want it to cost me a fortune. I want to do it as cheaply on a budget as I possibly can. But I just need to make it a more comfortable place for us to live in at the moment. And I thought the bedrooms is where my son plays a lot. And obviously the bedroom is where I am a lot because I work in my room. And obviously I sleep in my room. So I spend a lot of time in my bedroom. So I want to start with those two rooms. But we will see how it goes. I've got all of these plans for the summer holidays, and you think it's only 6 weeks. It's only going to be 6 weeks. And plus I've got to work in all that time as well. So we will see how things go. But I need another cup of tea. So another thing that's happening at the moment is my son wants to learn Spanish. I don't quite know where this has come from. He's been speaking to his dad about it. And his dad's been teaching him some Spanish words, and he's been learning it with me from YouTube. I know a little bit of French. I was stronger at French at school than I was at Spanish. But yeah, he wants to learn Spanish. So we've been watching some YouTube videos and learning Spanish that way. So does your child like to learn languages or anything like that? He's also said that once he's finished learning Spanish, he wants to learn French and Mandarin. Don't know where that's come from. Don't know where Mandarins come from at all. French, I can understand because we talk about Disneyland Paris quite a lot. And we just watched Brogan Tate in Disneyland Paris and he was getting very excited about it. So I think he wants to learn French because of that reason. But Mandarin, no idea where that one's come from. Kids can come out with the craziest stuff, can't they? He's also told me that he doesn't want to go to secondary school and he wants to be home educated. We've got a good few years before we even get there, but thanks for preparing me. I don't have a problem with home education if that's what he wants, and I'm more than happy to home educate my child. And I know some people are really for it and some people are really against it. I feel like if it's going to make my son happy and that's something that he wants to do, then I'm happy to home educate him. No idea how I would get that past his dad, but I always respect my son's wishes. But again, we've got a few years before that even happens, so we might change his mind. But I'd love to know what your views are on home education. Are you for it or are you against it? I know there's pros and cons, and I know biggest con is the social aspect of things, but I know there's a lot of pros for it as well. So I'm not saying that I'm going to do a home education for my son, but I want him to know that it's an option there if he ever feels that that's something he wants to do. But I'd love to know what your views are. Okay, and as my son is with his dad this weekend, I've got the whole weekend to kind of do what I want to do. I've just finished watching Castle on Disney Plus. I like kind of those kind of things. I'm watching Monk at the moment on Netflix as well. I love those kind of TV series. So what TV series do you like? Maybe I can have a little binge watch. I've done Bridgerton. Love Bridgerton. My favourite. Love it. Absolutely love it. But what do you like to kind of watch when you're just chilling out and stuff like that? Do let me know in the comments. And the final thing that I've got going on is I am on 5th book of the month. In June, because I'm coming up to the end of June, I've read 5 books. This should be finished very shortly. And the reason is because I wanted to read more books, but I have an app on my phone that tells me how many hours I spend in a week on my phone. And it got to 56 hours in 1 week I was spending on my phone. Now, a lot of that is to do with work, but not 56 hours worth. It's just doom scrolling. That's all it is. Because I've got massive high anxiety and I've got an appointment come through the other day to have a face-to-face appointment with my mental health nurse. The rest of the day was washed out after that because I just had this huge anxiety attack of going to see a mental health nurse about my anxiety because I didn't feel that she would believe me that I had anxiety, and it would just, I freaked out. I freaked out. It's not until next week. I've got a whole week, but I can already feel the tension in my chest. I can feel it in my stomach. I'm absolutely dreading it. My mum's actually going to come with me and wait in the waiting area because I'm freaking out that much. And I feel pathetic and such a loser because I'm 40 years old and I have to get my mum to come with me because I can't deal with the anxiety. They gave me medication for depression, but not for anxiety. And they got me in touch with the eating disorder clinic. And I was like, I don't want the eating disorder clinic. I beat my eating disorder. Now I want to be able to deal with the anxiety. I want help with anxiety. Medication is great and it's really useful, but it's not getting to the root cause of why I've got it. I feel like if you can dig out the root cause and pull it out like a weed, that's going to be better than keep masking it with medication. Not saying that medication doesn't work. If medication works for you, then brilliant, take it if that's what you want. But I want to get to the core of why it's happening so I can rip it out and it can go away for good. But I just don't know how. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Let me get back to my reading. So I felt 56 hours in 1 week was over 2 days of just purely on my phone. Can you imagine just spending about 2 and a bit days just staring at your phone, at how much that is going to mess with your head and mess with my anxiety? So I decided that every time I had the urge to pick up my phone, I pick up a book. Now and again, I would still go and look at my phone for work purposes, but also just to doom scroll now and again if I haven't got my book with me. But I just felt that was extortionate. And in 1 month, in 30 days, I've read 5 books. 5 whole books by picking up a book rather than picking up my phone. It just shows how much I have actually been using my phone for useless purposes. Useless. I went down from 56 hours in a week down to 36 hours in a week just by doing that. So much better. Still not great. 24 hours is where my aim is, to not spend so much time on my phone. So 24 hours is kind of where I'm looking at, but still a huge improvement. I have noticed by doing that, I haven't had so many anxiety attacks because I'm not online so much and comparing myself to others or seeing things online and freaking myself out over different things. And with the general election coming, that's just been awful for my anxiety of what's going to happen in the future. And I think as a mum, you don't just look at what's going to happen to your life in the future, but what's going to happen to your child's life in the future. So yeah, it's just lots and lots of anxiety over the last 30 days, but keep breathing through it. And I know there's going to be even more anxiety with the summer holidays coming up because I'm an anxiety driver. I hate it. Going on holiday on my own, scared. Going to new places by myself, terrified. But I might collar in some people to come with me. See if they would mind paying a ticket and spend the day with me. I feel like I've rambled on enough today for you already. I just wanted to do a little mum catch up with things that's going on. And my son's not here this weekend, so I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to have a little catch up where I haven't got loads of interruptions, because you know what kids are like. don't you? You can be sat on the sofa completely in silence and they won't say a word. And as soon as you open your mouth to talk to somebody else, all the questions come in. They know exactly the right time, don't they, to start bothering you. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for today. Thank you so much for watching. Drop any comments or any advice or any tips or tricks you may have with what's going on in my life right now. I don't always film it, so doing one of these every couple of months and just letting you know what's happening. If you like that kind of thing, do let me know, and I'll do more of them every few months and just keep you updated with what's going on in life. So if you do like the video, do give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. If you're not new here, but yet to subscribe, please consider doing so. And if you have subscribed, liked, shared, or commented, thank you so much for your continued support. I hope whenever you're watching this, you are having a good morning, good day, or good evening, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.